Opeth! Weed stuck office! Opeth! Seize the goddess!
Vocal reverb. It's actually factory default. Fab Filter Pro R. I don't think I did anything to it, to be honest. It just sounded good for him straight away. Dips in the right place, you know. You don't really like too much mid-range. Low mid-range is all right, you know, and it's pretty good for him. And I really like this just because it's really simple to use, you know. There's a bit of pitch, you know, that spreader kind of vibe where it kind of gets him less mono and a little bit of slap, but not much. It's not like a messy delay or anything. Because he's quite particular. He doesn't like stuff clouding the clarity, especially if he's going full tilt, you know, really, really fast and you can't hear the words. He doesn't want delays sort of tripping over the words. So yeah, a little bit of slap. Yeah, routing wise, yeah, I've got a group with all his vocals in, and then it just goes to a bus, and I've got a vocal rider on it. Purely because he tends to bring voices in and out, and they overlap sometimes, and it throws the volume off. So kind of have to ride some of the extra ones down. If you're going to go from like 1 to sort of 3, and sometimes he goes from 1 voice to like 4 voices all stacked, it can become a bit of a handful. But I found if I ride the volumes down in the tracks where he's sort of adding extra voices in like this, and then I'm going to put it back in this, and then it's the vocal rider's got to do less work. Otherwise you end up chasing the tail trying to balance the vocals for the whole time you're mixing rather than mixing. And of course, if he's here, you know, he's policing the vocal mix probably more than anything else, so you know that adds to it as well. Yeah, this is a U47 clone made by Warm. I really like, actually. It's just a decent mic, you know, rich. So yeah, like this de-esser. It's pretty good. Easy to use. Keeps him under control. Because he is a little bit sibilant, Dan.
Opeth! Weed stuck office! Opeth! Seize the goddess!
He's not terrible, but it is in there.
Office!
Lots of S's in this portion. Not really sort of taking the S's away where you can't hear the word properly. Fab filter again. Not too much going on with this. Keeping the low end under control. So I like to keep the low mid-range sort of in line, really.
Opeth! Be the prophet propaganda!
Give you a sore throat, wouldn't it? Try and do that.
Be the prophet propaganda!
So he's already compressed. I've tracked him through a distress there, but I like to get a little bit more on there. You can see there is some dynamic range in the parts, and we want him fairly consistent, but definitely a room for a bit more. I don't slam him on the way in, so maybe 5 dB, 6 dB already. So
Opeth! Weed stuck office! Opeth! Seize the goddess! Opeth!
yeah, 3 dB maybe, not much. 4 to 1, fairly fast attack, long release.
Opeth! Weed stuck office!
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of the UAD EQP1A. Again, it comes with Spark, so easy to get your hands on. But I like a good 5K boost. And if I want a bit more 100, it's just right there as well. Can't go wrong.
Opeth! Weed stuck office! Opeth! Seize the goddess!
I mean, that gets him in your face. That's where he wants to be, really. I mean, you want to hear him. It's his band. Okay, so this is a good plugin. This is one of those sort of Dolby noise reduction modules. I mean, you can see what it does if I wind it back to the...
Opeth! Weed stuck office! Opeth! Seize the goddess!
It kind of boosts like all the highs in a way which is...
Opeth! Weed stuck office! Opeth! Seize the goddess!
I mean, it really gets him in there. But, you know, that's... Obviously, I've maxed it out to see what you can do, but pull it back a bit.
Opeth! Weed stuck office!
Weird. It's not like EQ, but it just gives some kind of like sweetness to it. Big fan of that with a limiter.
Opeth! Seize the goddess!
Nothing too much going on there. 4 dB, 4 dB. I'm going to go again on the de-esser though, right on the back end.
Opeth! Weed stuck office! Opeth! Weed stuck office! Opeth! Opeth! Witch Duck Office! Opeth!
I mean, that's the most extreme version. They'll probably be on all the vocals, so the vocal rider in that.
The beast is rising! I counteract the core of everything accelerating to death a pathetic more! The beast is rising! I counteract the core of everything accelerating to death a pathetic more! Scatterbrittle insects' features surge in the necrotic birth of the terminus plate. Satan has fallen amidst the waters of the earth. Mountain sea great murmurs, fires face a forest black.
Yeah, so the reverb's not too long and it's not overwhelming. So again, you know, too much reverb, and you know you're going to get into that washy sort of extra stuff creeping in that you again is going to take up more room, and there's other stuff to come into play. So let's just have a quick look at this.
Opeth! Witch Duck Office!
Yeah, so this gives that kind of like slightly chorus-esque.
Opeth! Witch Duck Office! Opeth! Witch Duck Office! Opeth! Seize the goddess!
Kind of puts an extra Dan to the left and to the right. That's chorus shifted, you know, pitch shifted in a way. It's like gives them a little bit more place in the mix if there's only one vocal, especially. So yeah, Decapitator. So the drive's on 0 for this, and the only reason I use it is really just for tone. You've got a tone dial. I don't even know if it was on the mix, to be honest, but
Opeth! Witch Duck Office! Opeth! Seize the goddess!
maybe. Let's see what this is like.
Opeth! Witch Duck Office! Opeth! Seize the goddess! Opeth! Witch Duck Office! Opeth! Be the perfect woman! The beast is fighting! I can't survive the core of everything accelerating to death of pathetic more! The beast is fighting!
Probably a bit light on the reverb. A nudge. Yeah, so somewhere, certainly something like that would be where I'd be for all the vocal tracks, to be honest. Yeah, so Dan doesn't really go in for sort of double tracking everything. We only really have extra voices if it's a different voice, like a higher voice or lower voice, but it's never the same. It's never the same voice with the lead voice, unless it's a backing vocal. Basically, they're the rules. Cool thing about this song, it's got a cool tremolator effect. It's always nice when you find like a vocal effect and it becomes like one of the main things of the song. In this instance, it's this tremolator thing going on. And it really worked for the song. It's one of those things where you sort of spend half a day trying, you know, and he's like, no, not that one. Yeah, that's better. And you're going round and round trying everything. And then, you know, sort of you're sick of it, but then the next day it's like, oh, it's really great. It's got to blend it in sort of like a fifth below or something like that. And then this tremolator sound, which is basically the main sound. The low octave thing is from the pitch. It's not a plugin I ever really get to use. This song really benefited from it. It's a bit mad, but the song's a bit mad. So yeah, tremolator.